Welcome to Champ Week presented by Principal. You're watching the SEC tournament here on ESPN. First team All-SEC performer Mark Sears leading the Alabama Crimson Tide into semifinal number 2 against Todd Golden's Florida Gators. These are two of the most potent offensive teams in the nation. Underway, and it's the Tide who win the tip.
What a matchup. Elijah Martin guarding Mark Sears. Elijah Martin, a great on-ball defender.
Grant Nelson, good matchup with Alex Condon. Cliff Amori to Sears. The pass back through his legs, and it'll be over to the gate lineup. You can make a case for a few different teams, but does any team in the country have a better backcourt than Richard, Martin, and Clayton? And the big guys are terrific, too. Florida has really good depth, and they can beat you so many different ways.
One of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. You've got to lay a body on someone and fight.
Will Richard lays it in, and Florida scores first.
Just off that handoff action, and Ruben Chinyelu screens off Cliff Amori. He screens help better than any big guy in America.
Amori got a beautiful feed from Libero. Amori at the line for the Tide. A transfer from winning games in so many different ways. And the pace at with both. Alabama won 2 years ago, won 4 years ago.
Alabama has 11 top 25 wins thus far this season. 4 against the top 10. That's remarkable.
Clayton pulls up for 3. Around and out. Chinyelu lays it back in.
There's the offensive glass. Condon got a hand on it, and then Chinyelu corralled it under the bucket.
Phylon, the freshman who was so good in the quarterfinal win yesterday over Kentucky. The assist on the basket by Grant Nelson.
Boy, how about that pass by Phylon?
He had 21 points, 4 assists yesterday in a 29-point win over Kentucky. Florida beat Missouri in the quarters to get here. Look at the pace by Sears. In league play, second in scoring, second in assists as well. Clayton into Condon. Nice little shovel pass. Chinyelu again.
These are the best passing big men in the SEC, maybe in the country, that Florida has.
And another one coming off the bench, Thomas Houck, who's a great passer as well. Nelson left alone, and he'll knock it down. The grad transfer from North Dakota State, only 27% from 3 on the season, but he's got the green light, and he seems to make them at big time.
Yeah, you don't want to let him get his feet set and dare him to shoot it.
Look at that. Look at the handle. A great look to Youngblood for 3. 38% from 3. Alabama off to a hot start. Condon will try a 3. And the offensive rebound, Richard spins, hangs, and hits.
Will Richard has had a fantastic year.
Martin deflects it and then takes it away. Elijah Martin to Clayton.
Good pass.
Right back out to a wide open Clayton, who knocks down the 3. Micah hand-locked in, who takes away the rebound. A guy Florida fans know this story well. Broke his leg in this building, in this tournament last year. Was going to redshirt, but then the combination of some injuries to some other front court players.
Georgia game, he had 9 rebounds, 6 of them on the offensive end.
Definitely the left leg as he sits on the bench. Denzel Aberdeen. I know a guy that
Aberdeen comes off the bench. Urban Klapjar can come in and shoot it.
Holloway, an Auburn Tiger a year ago. And the open 3 will go down for Stevenson, an incredibly talented young man, a sophomore from Chapel Hill who's made 19 starts this year for Alabama.
He's on a heater. He had 16 against Kentucky, 3 of 5 from 3 last night.
Kentucky hung in for a while with Alabama. The Wildcats decimated by injuries, and Alabama eventually pulled away. Florida got a push from Missouri. Handlocked in a beautiful 2-man game with Walter Clayton Jr.
Yeah, Sherrill too much on the ball and nobody on the weak side. Just a quick slip to the bucket for the easy dunk.
Phylon hesitates, can't hit it, and then working hard on the glass, Aiden Sherrill.
Aiden Sherrill has got a big body And he can step out and knock down a three as well.
A freshman from Detroit, a McDonald's All-American. Aberdeen, no. Hanlogden, they follow.
Well, we were just talking about Hanlogden's offensive rebounding. He started his career at Marshall and then transferred to Florida. And before he was injured, he is more than a handful.
Phylon with a beautiful shot fake and a dish inside. And we've got
Florida with some of their big guys. They like to play in drop coverage.
5 guards, 3 spots, and just an outstanding deep group of players, both in the backcourt and in the front court, that Todd Golden has at his disposal. And you can really say the same thing for Nate Oates.
Yes. Florida's guards are as good as anybody.
And how about Clayton started at Iona? Richard started at Belmont. Martin started at Florida Atlantic, and it may be the best trio in the country.
Yeah, you think you got Walter Clayton Jr. bottled up. He makes a dribble move, uses a screen. What a play by Stevenson. He is on a heater right now.
Sensational drive by Jaron Stevenson. And a three-point play for Stevenson. And it's tied again, this time at 20.
A fair amount of possessions. I think Nate Oates wants more than Todd Golden, but these are high-scoring teams.
Alabama averages better than 91 points per game. Florida almost 85. When you look at efficiency, Florida's 3rd, Alabama's 4th. Elijah Martin again.
17 points last night against Missouri. He was 7 of 9. One of the toughest players in the country.
Boy, Klobuchar really sticking his nose in there against Stevenson. Meanwhile, down low, Martin has to give the foul. Entering play today, Joe Lennon Games, and you and I, first and foremost, are both just concerned about the game itself and the championship here for the game. Like himself, that left leg must be okay. In and out. Boy, Holloway had a good look. Terrific rebound there by Mo Diabate. Sears from the logo can't knock it down, but Diabate does it again, and the 3rd time is the charm. Are either 1s or 2s, according to Joe Lunardi, and I can't think of anybody who would argue that, to be honest with you. But Jay and I both agree there appears to be some room for movement. Klobuchar with a 3 to tie it at 25.
Klobuchar with a little handoff, then came back to the ball and got a screen from Condon. Beautiful.
And at the other end, Alabama back on top, 27-25. Klobuchar, a guy, wasn't playing a lot early, as it's laid in by Aberdeen. Boy, you want to talk about one guy. By the time you get there, there have been 2 more baskets made in this game. And misses the free throw. I was going to say about Klobuchar, and you and I have seen him a couple of times when this happened, got a chance to play and came in and started knocking down shots. Kind of just forced his way into the rotation. They had some injuries in the middle of the year. Martin and Clayton were a little banged up. Klobuchar got a chance and made the most of it.
Well, Alabama's doing a good job, even in transition with that double drag. That's hard to guard. And LeBaron Phylon, this guy is a budding star.
Yeah, he is getting better by the game. Was the player of the game for Alabama in the win over Kentucky last night. Grant Nelson.
And give credit to Phylon for that screen, but that's a big-time finish by Grant Nelson.
How the pass fake, and he'll return the favor with a dunk at the other end.
And Condon screened off the help defense again.
Nelson with the running reverse.
My neck hurts.
Off the back of the iron and down with it, Clayton. And Clayton's still going. Too strong off the glass. Chinyelu again. That's his 3rd putback of the game already.
It's so hard in transition to block these guys out because Nelson had to put some pressure on Clayton. How are you going to get in front of Chinyelu?
As you mentioned, the Gators, one of the very best offensive rebounding teams in the country. The floater for Sears and the soft touch.
Well, with this drop coverage, I don't think that Nate Oates minds that little floater, especially from Mark Sears. He's so good at it. Usually that's not a high-value shot, but in this game, it's going to be available.
Clayton open. Got it. A 3 for Walter Clayton Jr. And it's
been struggling from 3 of late. His last 3 games coming into this one, 4 of 22 from 3.
Martin, like a fullback, into the secondary, drives and draws the foul.
He was a quarterback. How dare you call him a fullback? But the pace has been such when Grant, that's a tough task.
1 of 2 for Martin, and it's tied at 35.
Guy with the ball can get you some rebounds. Mohamed Diabate.
Got a great screen from Sears and a foul at the rim. No basket. Starters, one of his best players, Alex Condon, only has 1. This free throw by
I thought Diabate was.
Will Richard has left the game. Urban Klabjar has checked in, and Richard has walked past the end of the bench and towards the tunnel, towards the locker room. Clayton knocks down the 3.
The ball, 2 really good steals guys.
Condon switches on to Sears. Stevenson in the corner knocks down the 3.
He is an excellent corner shooter and a great find. Drawing the defense, Elijah Martin has to try to get back out there, but a great pass by Sears.
Second 3 of the game already for Jaron Stevenson, and how about that rebound from Mark Sears?
That's what it's going to take. The guards have to get down and rebound as well.
Driving by Condon, floats it up, it will go. Sears now with 6. 5 of the first semi today. The winner of this gets the Volunteers tomorrow for the SEC Championship. Martin, what a move. What a pass. And Condon is fouled.
Sears so.
Condon misses the first. Maybe okay for him.
Condon also a cricket player in addition to being one of the. Houck has Holloway on him. Now they switch back. It's Diabate.
Klabjar using the screen from Houck. Has it taken away by Diabate. Who finishes?
What a play by Diabate.
And 2 on Hanlockton. The floater no for Nelson. And it's down to Houck. Nelson a little slow to get up and grimacing. Martin, the baseline drive and layup.
Again.
Left the 3 short, and it belongs to Philon in the tie.
And Alabama out in transition again.
What a play by Clayton. Just plain and simple, took it away. Condon couldn't finish, but Houck. Hanlockton has taken the place of Condon right now. Aberdeen at the point, defended by Holloway. Richard lost it. Stevenson ahead to Diabate, who lays it in.
Nice job by Diabate to put the brakes on and let Aberdeen fly by.
There have been 9 lead changes already in this game. Houck is open. There have been 10 lead changes already in this game. Houck to the paint. And it's down to Sears, and the Tide's running again. Right into the chest of Aberdeen to draw the foul and get to the line.
Few guards are.
Coach didn't play in the second half at all. It wasn't going well, but has looked.
But he needs to get a 3 to go down. He's not shot the ball well the last 3-4 games.
Out, good defense by Diabate. Can't get around him. Aberdeen open at the elbow. Can't hit it. Houck misses the follow, but there is. Houck knocked
the game in Tuscaloosa, 1 versus 2, when Auburn was able to beat
2 and with the ball for what they hope is the final shot here of the first half.
Here comes the high ball screen.
Clayton refuses it, whips it past to Aberdeen. And Diabate down with a rebound as the first half comes to a close. We thought it would be 2 things.
Rebounding for Alabama is going to be a 5-man job.
The pull-up, short. Chinyelu, another offensive rebound. Short on the jump hook. Condon the rebound. Chinyelu again. They just couldn't put it home, but finally he dropped. Cliff Amori, his 3rd. So he will. And Amori, they're a little bit short right now.
Yeah, it makes Alabama smaller.
Game, early second half.
Sears needs to see one go through the basket.
Philon.
Good help by Condon.
Chris Youngblood with his second 3 of the game.
Really good screen by Diabate. Walter Clayton Jr. from getting back to the ball.
Youngblood, a guy who could really help Alabama from beyond the yard. Missed the first 9 games of the year with an ankle injury. Martin answers with a 3 for Florida.
Boy, terrific job to break up that lob, but it led to a 3. You tapped it out, and that essentially served as the pass that led to the 3-point shot.
A clean look for Philon. He'll miss the 3, but another foul underneath, and it looks like another review is coming. And it looked like Youngblood got his left arm kind of up around the neck of Elijah Martin. And actually was a little bit away from under the back. Number 8 in red, Chris Youngblood, that left hand right there. And Martin hits both of these of the SEC tournament. Handlocked it. Richard in some traffic on the baseline. Tough shot. Here in Gainesville. Sears driving. Blocked by Condon. Saved by Handlocked. Richard is fouled.
Boy, that's what. And a really good little shot over LeBaron Philon on the.
And Richard makes both of them. Had 17 points against Missouri yesterday in the quarterfinals.
They got handlocked and hitting Stevenson on the top of the head.
Clayton stays in front of Sears. Not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Totally different defender this year versus last year.
Knocks it away. Lays it in. What a play by Walter Clayton Jr. at both ends.
He is an NBA guard, no doubt in my mind.
Youngblood underneath the basket. Somehow found room.
Chris Youngblood, he was the player
in this game for Bama. 21 yesterday in the quarters. Knocked away by Handlocked. Martin off to the races. What a combination of speed and power there by Elijah Martin. And here they come again. What a move by Clayton. The finish for Condon, and it's all Gators.
It's been impressive in this game in short minutes.
Martin the drive, and another foul. And Florida has taken over this game.
Offensive player as well. Honestly, Dan, I think Elijah Martin's a big part of that. Everyday lunch pail mentality to this team.
About Martin coming over, and he said, you know, we thought it would be great, but you don't know how it's going to be until you actually see it on the court. Well, everybody in the country can see that it's working extremely well. Chris Youngblood.
More.
No Nelson for Alabama, out with a left leg injury. Philon hasn't scored, and Sears has 7, but he's 3 for 9, hasn't hit a 3 yet. Wow, tough shot again. And saved by Chinyelu. Chinyelu having a huge rebounding game. That's his 10th. Now a touch in the paint. He is working hard at both ends, Jay.
As good as Auburn. They're every bit as good as Duke.
Yep.
And Houston, they need to be talked about as the best team in the country. They're right there.
Well, the first time I think we saw them in person was in Lexington in the SEC opener, right? January the 4th. And Kentucky beat them 106-100. Kentucky was healthy then.
It's almost like they don't have a week. What he's saying that.
Their 4 losses this year, all in conference play. We mentioned at Kentucky, lost at home to Missouri. That's back in January as well. Lost at Tennessee in early February. The Gators and the Volunteers have split their 2 meetings this year. Then they lost at Georgia on the 25th of February. How about Walter Clayton Jr.?
Down on the baseline, passes back out, and then moves to an open area. It's just so difficult to stay with them. It's not like Chris Youngblood did a bad job. It's just Walter Clayton Jr. did a great job. And he went baseline to three-point line.
So he will come out and Condon will take his place. Paying off. They've got Handlogton and Hauk and Chinyelu and Condon. And they rotate those 4 guys around between 2 spots. Aberdeen at the point. Just keeps going. Well, he's got away to 12 in the second half. The drive by Klabjar, and back comes Diabate. Diabate still going and gets fouled by Hauk. That'll be number 2 on Thomas Hauk.
Some big shots and had some big games in his career, but he's going to have to earn
the line for the Tide. Very good game against Kentucky in the quarters.
Tough pass to Corral.
Boy, look at the speed. I mean, a little bit out of control and then thrown away. Hauk is fouled. I think it was Youngblood, and it'll be free throws coming for Thomas Hauk.
93, whatever.
99-94. Yeah. 9 in the win at Auburn. And to your point about great passing big guys,
you know, Florida is shooting a really high percentage, shooting over 60% in the second half.
Big to big, Condon to Hauk. Klabjar in the corner. Boy, that would have been spectacular had Richard not been fouled. And Diabate his 3rd. And Richard, as you said, anybody can get beat.
He was a huge part of last year's team before he was injured. One of the best rebounders in the country.
Klabjar got the deflected pass back, and he got fouled. And Florida just keeps going to the line. That'll be... Has some international...
And when he's home in Slovenia, they say he's got international experience because he plays in the United States.
I'm not sure he'll ever be the best player out of Slovenia. We all know who that is, but he's awfully good, and he's going to get better. Richard. Yes!
Florida has who had that gruesome injury in this building a year ago. He's played 9 minutes. He's got 9 rebounds.
Yep.
He's been great.
Maury from Phylon. But there's lots of work still to be done for Alabama. It's 19 right now. A trap on Klabjar. He fights his way out of it. Handlogton. Hauk spins and hits. What skill.
So good with that spin move. The rim. It's so hard for Alabama to get a finish because of the size and length and want to of these Florida big guys.
Richard. Boy, sometimes he looks like he'll never miss again.
Well, he's the best shooter on this roster. I mean, the best scorer is Walter Clayton Jr., but I think if there was a horse contest, my sense is Richard would win it.
Youngblood, another 3, his 4th of the game. Trying to keep.
Has made a huge impact in this game. Aberdeen's one of them.
Blocked. Both Amori and Stevenson were there. Youngblood again. Phylon hustling after it, but it's out of bounds back to the Gators. Walter Clayton Jr. and a lot of help. Martin, Richard, those 3 guards had 52 yesterday. They've got 46 so far today. Mark Sears not having a big day. Phylon still hasn't scored in this game last time out.
Florida's defense, to me, has been the Duke or Houston.
Chinyelu again with a steal to try to free up a lane for Clayton.
Now they got the switch.
Clayton hits another 3. I mean, he's just getting anything he wants and making everything he takes.
He just steps back from Sherrill, and that meant Phylon had to block out Ruben Chinyelu. So even if he misses, Chinyelu's right there for the offensive board.
Holloway answers with a 3 of his own. You know, you go back to the beginning of the season, and the beginning of the season seems like decades ago. So much changes even as quick as a college basketball season can go. Condon, again, another three.
What do you do?
Florida was ranked, Jay, 21st preseason. 21st in the nation. Got into the top 10 in early December, and they haven't been out of it since.
I mean, what do you do when you play pick and pop with one of your 6'11" big guys? He knocks down a three. You put two on the ball, play inside or out, who can handle the ball and dribble handoff situations. He becomes an incredible lob threat.
Florida is 11 for 23. That's 48% from three today. Clayton's got 6 of them. 5 other players each have 1. So 6 different Gators have made a three in this game.
Both these teams, I think, very well prepared, but Florida does as good a job as anyone is preparing their team for playing in these games.
Great offense.
But the many things you like about Florida, they can play at different tempos. They can play fast, they can play slow.
They've had 6 different players lead them in scoring this year. They don't rely too heavily on anybody as LeBaron Philon finally has his first points of the game.
Yeah, they've had 6 different Gators this year have scored 20 or more points in a game. I mean, that's impressive. And the road wins they've had is what's been amazing to me. I mean, they've beaten 2 #1 teams this year. And they've had great road wins at Auburn, at Alabama. They won at Mississippi State. It's not easy to win in Starkville.
The 2 #1 wins at Auburn, banked home by Shinyulu, who's having the time of his life right now. And the other one was against Tennessee when the Vols were #1. Florida and Tennessee split 2 games this year, and neither of them were close. Florida won in Gainesville by 30. And then Tennessee returned the favor a few weeks later in a one in Knoxville by 20. The reason that's relevant is it sure looks like those 2 teams are going to meet again tomorrow. Clayton puts his head down. And the foul call on Jaron Stevens. Florida is on its way potentially to scoring more.
So you want to play him, forcing him left. So you play him with your left foot and your left hand up.
Out. The turnaround. And Stevenson has it knocked away. Shinyulu. If it's Shinyulu, he has fouled out of the game, but just 3:38 remaining in what is now a
29%. 8 of 27 for the Tide. And look at 18 points. Richard is 5 of 7 from the field. Martin 5 of 6. That's pretty efficient.
Yep. And the 3 guards are combined 12 of 14 from the free throw line as well. Condon. And a chance for 3.
Just a little horn set. Looks like he's going to set a ball screen. He goes out of point.
Yep.
That's amazing.
This will match. Eventually still at 99. Again, 100 would match their season high. Mark Sears, by the way, hasn't been in the game for a while for Alabama. Don't know if Nate Oates is just saying, hey, it's done. Not going to send him out there. More game.
1 seeds. I think Auburn is going to be the #1 overall seed.
Yeah.
And I think both Duke and Houston have #1 seeds locked up.
So then does it come down, in your mind, does it come down to the winner of the champion? 10 semis. St. John's also is a 2 seed at the moment.
Not after losing to Wisconsin today. I think that ends that discussion.
Isaiah Brown, a freshman from Orlando, number 20, getting his first action of the day for the Gators. Aberdeen wide open. 102, a new season high for Florida, and that matches the highest point total in an SEC tournament game. Diamante, good work as he lays it in. He will a long, long way.
Well, there's nobody out there that this Florida team cannot beat. I know that.
The crowd wants Anderson to put a shot up. He does!
You love seeing how excited his teammates get over that. They know how hard Ben and Anderson and his teammates work.
And a new team record for most points in an SEC tournament game as well. And Bennett Anderson could say, yeah, that was me. You guys did your thing. That was me. What a performance by the Gators. They are going to the title game tomorrow against a team they split 2 games with during the regular season. What a matchup it's going to be. The Tennessee Volunteers, the Florida Gators, perhaps for a 1 seed, but unequivocally for an SEC tournament championship here in Nashville. A great performance. Florida shooting 51%, 44 from 3, and they win going away by 20.